Nigerian Labour Congress FCT Chapter has approved 709,000 naira as a new minimum wage for Nigerian workers. The NLC FCT chairman submitted the proposal at the North Central Zonal Public Hearing organized by the Tripartite Committee on the National Minimum Wage in Abuja. The chairman, while making the submission, said the Congress took cognizance of the present economic conditions in the country to arrive at the figure.
We have a common position. This position considers the present economic growth in the country. It considers some stimulus attached to the economic of the country. It considers the cost of living. It considers what is happening in other countries. And in summary, NLC has this position, this submission as to what we believe will be better for Nigerian workers and Nigerian citizens from all sectors in the area of accommodation, utilities that comprise of electricity, water, kerosene, and other areas, the food we have to take every day, the medication, the clothing, the education, other social expenses, and transportation. And we have a submission that 709,000 naira per month should be the minimum wage for the workers in the country. We believe that Nigeria have what it takes. The leadership, if she did do the right thing, should be able to commit themselves to getting this money paid and for us to have a better place for the working people of Nigeria.
For its part, the Trade Union Congress FCT Chapter, who was represented by Amege Chukwudi, said in its submission at the new public hearing, proposed 447,000 naira as the new minimum wage.
Based on all of the analysis we have in this document and based on other emerging issues in the economy, in view of all the logical arguments adduced in the preceding paragraphs, TUC is demanding the moderate sum of 447,000 per month as new national minimum wage. This will give Nigerian workers a minimum level of comfort that will enable them cope with the current biting economic hardship, which has turned majority of them to beggars. This is required to narrow the widening gap of poverty among the employed and mitigate the erosion of living standards of Nigerian workers. So for us in the FCT, we expect that the minimum wage will run across the 3 tiers of government, including the state councils.
Professor Mohammed of the Medical and Dental Consultants Association of Nigeria, in his submission, proposed 440,333.33 naira as the minimum wage for workers.
Our only appeal to this committee is that consequential adjustment should be included as a representation or as a resolution of this work, because it has happened before when minimum wage was increased and there was no consequential adjustment, because the senior cadre are actually the ones that are supporting the junior cadre in several ways in order to achieve harmony in the civil service. So we recommend a minimum wage of 440,333.33, and consequential adjustment should not be forgotten.
Representatives of the Forum of Retired Directorates of Federal Civil Service proposed 70,000 naira as minimum wage for workers at the hearing.
One of our final recommendations, Mr. Chairman, is the review of pensions. The 1999 Constitution in section 173 subsection 3 makes it mandatory that public service pensions should be reviewed every 5 years or simultaneously with any review of salaries in the civil service, whichever is earlier.
Meanwhile, the Federal Civil Service Pensioners of Nigeria has demanded that 85% of the minimum wage that would be approved be assigned to pensions. National Chairman of the association, Sunday Umezi, said the money would enable pensioners to take care of themselves and their health challenges.
Well, it is become imperative to use this medium to express our displeasure over the exclusion of the bona fide pensioner from the committee. We are not happy that pensioners are not part of the committee to decide their fate or to decide their minimum pension. Well, we appreciate the president for setting up this committee for workers, but in the constitution, the minimum wage and pension go per so that we'll be in the same page because we buy from the same market. So if we are not considering workers, salary of workers, we are not going to say a particular amount. 85% of that amount you are giving to workers should be given to pensioners. So that is our submission.
In his response, Chairman of the Zonal Committee, Mr. Festus Osifo, said the committee had noted the recommendations and would harmonize them for effective and full implementation of the new minimum wage once approved and signed into law. The hearing was attended by government representatives and stakeholders from both the public and private sectors.
You know, if you check the Minimum Wage Act of 2019, the sanctions there for us, it wasn't that stiff enough. So what we will try and do from the committee is to put in place a very strong sanction and punitive measures to ensure that if once it's passed into law, the state must implement. But we at this level, we will not be able to say what those sanctions will be today because we have to harmonize across the 6 geopolitical zones. We have to all sit down in the tripartite committee and make recommendations. We must do what is within the ambience of a law to be done. A stiffer penalty, a stiffer sanction will be advocated from the tripartite committee.